Right, so welcome to Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube, obviously, like always do out here. We bring you the best in terms of analysis of us at Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. So subscribe to the channel now. You should do so now. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And not turn on notification. CCA, yes, pause the video, go back and subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. And good afternoon to you. Say, baby, I want to say, I see did come on. We're talking about football, discussing it, analyzing it together here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Today, if you are an investor, there is a betting code that's been there, of course, from this morning or obviously also this afternoon. Meaning that I want to say, if you want to go ahead and go and find some code to stick there, then it is there to go in there and then make sure so back with you when you'll be and I'll be come on. But the big one, however, and it said Chelsea any a big breakthrough, serious breakthrough. In fact, a breakthrough or not a day more in the last few months and weeks. And the update on the Chelsea young boy called Joshua Fiifi-Manfred. Say Mubekaya. In fact, let's talk about the Astana game and the things around. We'll talk about Joshua Fiifi-Manfred because on only send me a more detailed and I'll bring you some gist of the things that I'm hearing over there. Now, Chelsea are traveling to Kazakhstan to go and play Astana. Kazakhstan, for I hear, 8 hours ahead of Chelsea. Into match number one about 3 p.m., 8 p.m. local time. But then England, somewhere around 3 p.m. thereabouts. And Chelsea will boss our match. Now, in the pre-match press conference, a lot of funny things that happened. The first thing, and he said, Chelsea traveling squad at Chelsea match or Astana. Again, it shows why it's very important that Chelsea were a very, very deep squad, because the truth of the matter is that boys no more come back to Astana match. The Chelsea match on Sunday, they can't play against Brentford because they all travel to Astana to go and play, and there's the time difference of -8. What it then means is that when you come back, your body needs to acclimatize with a new London environment before so it's about ball and London. So most of these guys are not going to travel. It's watch a team that travel like Astana now. It's a team that has a lot of the Chelsea young boys and a travel team a friend Astana. There's the young boy Joshua Fiifi-Manfred when you're back into the team. There is a brand here, a friend of Kaino Dyer back into the team. There is a brand here, although this weekend on Bobby, that is Pedro Neto. And also he's also not going to play in that game in match number Astana. Pedro Neto sanctioned for the game against Brentford. Into no travel to go to Astana, but he's not going to play. Inside game at Chelsea and then Brentford over the weekend. He's not going to be in there. There are a host of other players so also out of that conversation, and they're also not going to travel to go and play. Kupama is not going to go. I'm hearing Sir Brantia. Your friend Enzo Fernandez is also not traveling and most of the players now are calling and against Astana. So Chelsea have a very good team against Astana. These teams players no more and any issue because they go into these games not having any issue in the match against Brentford because it was always going to be difficult for you to go and play away at Astana and then come and play against Brentford at home. It was always going to be a difficult game in there for anybody to go in and go and play. Then you look at the players that have gone. Enzo Maresca on the pre-match press conference. They allowed Chelsea to do it this morning because it's going to be an 8-hour flight in London before some game and friend Astana. And Enzo Maresca said it was so good. We have enough good players in the squad to play in games 2 times a week because Maresca is saying that the team landing on Friday 6 a.m. morning. Ideally, a normal thing is that some of them would have to play on Sunday. If we didn't have this much sizable squad, Chelsea would have been in serious trouble. He spoke about the players now in terms of how good they are going to be. But the most important thing also, and Sema Brantia, your friend Axel Desasi, and so kind about Chelsea. Or say yes, flights and long, but then this is going to be a game. I will in the long flight. We say then you just players no moment any problem. They'll just download the movie. Then they will make sure say two gloves no be able send the mobile. They can relax and play in those games. So Chelsea team na in the game against Astana this morning. Chelsea in the first training. It will fear at Cobham. Of course, there is going to be a branch of Mark Gill, Pedro Neto, Axel Desasi, There's going to be a bunch of Renato Vega, Tosin Adrebiayo. There's going to be a bunch of Cesar Casade, Philippe Jorgensen, as a part of the traveling squad that Omokakobo in some match against Astana over there, because a hugely important game. A game I don't think Chelsea 4 should be to put too much into that game, because one shade here, because of the fairly young team never come, but one shade at Chelsea I drop a point on them. But Axel de Sacia represented players our press conference and he spoke about a lot of things. First of all, he started with Nsema Enzo Maresca about team na echo. Of course, first of all, Enzo Maresca didn't come about the team, and the kind of team that are traveling to Astana. Maresca say some of them will be here, some will fly. Talking about Chelsea players, and saying they've been better because of the difference in time over there. More or less, we try to manage in the same way we have done until today. We have many young players with us. Enzo Maresca went on to say 8 hours is not normal to be on a flight for a game. We have to go there and play. We'll try to do our best and thinking about the next, not thinking about the next game. He goes on a sequence on beside about Chelsea defense, and it was one of the things that Enzo Maresca did defending. He takes a Chelsea are not at a point where they can go on and win English Premier League. Asemba Enzo Maresca can't chair journalist for said, so oh boy, in any game that's what consider an average of 3 goals per game. Like in the game against Tottenham Hotspur, Chelsea conceded 3 goals now. It's not good enough. According to Enzo Maresca, before so be beating the TV beats the English Premier League, the team should have grown to the point where they are defensively very, very resolute and they don't concede this kind of goals or English Premier League. And according to him, they are not there yet. Until he went on to also attest that conceding 3 goals against Tottenham. We have just 2 games, 2 teams who concede less than us. We are attacking and defending well. You are not going to win titles just scoring goals. You need to defend better. Maresca also goes on beside about January, possible transfers, players Benobeko, because the news around NSA branch here friend of Kani Chukwuemeka, you see AC Milan for now bringing in a huge proposal to Chelsea. So bit man for a branch here friend Kani Chukwuemeka from Chelsea to go and play at San Siro for AC Milan. Now, this afternoon, Fabrizio Romano, a reporter, said Abrante Feni Kani Chukwuemeka, although say AC Milan for the penny, their front runners for him, Chelsea are not going to let him go. Now, the most very possible player Chelsea for beating me, I want to call Abrante, the French Cesare Casade, and there are teams like Monza. Being a bunch of French Cesare to go and play in the Italian Serie A. Chelsea will probably let him go alone. And Enzo Maresca spoke about that. I said, no, we are not thinking about January transfer window. We still have many games before that. The focus is just on the amount of games before that over there. Of course, Enzo Maresca was asked about the conference. They will say the main target is to go to the next stage, then the next one. When we achieve the next one, the target is the next. I don't like to think about 4 or 5 months ahead. It's not about being ambitious. It's if you think about 4 or 5 months, you can lose focus. And I think that's excellent. And lots of the people are saying that Chelsea should be able to win the conference league, and rightly so. But as a manager, Enzo Maresca has to manage his team. He has to make sure that the boy is not any overly reliant, overly focused on you beating the conference league, into then Debiani or conference league final. What he's saying, they said it's about the next game now. Then think about the next one. So qualify free the group stage that you qualify to the next stage, you think about that one as well. Then think about the very other one as well. If you're able to get all of these 3 ones that will qualify, then think about that instead of thinking about 4 months, 5 months. Emma will lose focus, and he, as a coach, on Pesadi and cry, he would rather want to focus on things that are right ahead of him that he can think about, that he can move in, and then make sure the BBA come up. I mean, in that regard, also for him, Enzo Maresca and Kopama. But see, absolutely, he can be world class. He's just 21. He can do many things. He's learning that everyone is marking him man for man. And I think that's something that really helps. In fact, since Enzo Maresca, Enzo Fernandez came back into the team, it's almost becoming useless for teams to mark Cole Palmer man for man these days. Because Cole Palmer say, oh my kind of man for man. It means that, like against Tottenham Hotspur, gives Bissouma Jima Bakopa and Postecoglou the man was to close down Branch friend Cole Palmer man for man, was to follow his run consistently, was to prevent him from having loads of the ball in the various areas and dangerous. Now that's always opened the space for a branch friend Enzo Fernandez, and Enzo Fernandez had a lot of time on the ball, a lot of time up. Now Otimi J-ball, Otimi control, Otimi moving various directions, suppress all the ball. And I think that it really helped Chelsea because say oh boy in a game, it's say na say uja ho na say oma Chelsea that much time. That's all because Oman and more space up. And you Cole Palmer going to beat my head too. There's going to be Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez can hit you. And if you look at that Enzo Fernandez goal, Cole Palmer took the ball wide. 3 or 4 players went to close him down. Marco Correa pulled in another player. That opened up a lot of space for Tima Abrante and Enzo Fernandez to be able to slot home. So it looks as if Cole Palmer is beginning to understand how he's being used in game. He's beginning to understand very important for him to play in games when he's being man-marked. Now, the plan is to now give other people a lot of the time, a lot of the space so that they can also influence play. And Enzo Fernandez, a lot of things go through him, controls the tempo of the game essentially. And Sewujani in the left half space, whether as a deep line playmaker, a DLP deeper. So also in the second half now, Marco Correa rather pushed in as a left side 10. Then Enzo Fernandez came as a DLP, but then also attacking the box with the box crashing ability. And he was so excellent in that regard. He was asked about Noni Madueke, so Madueke definitely is not going to play against Astana because Chelsea are going to be playing in the game against Brentford, and Abrante friend Pedro Neto accumulated yellow card, so he's not going to play in there. Madueke is going to stay at Cobham, says Enzo Maresca. We have a session now at 10 a.m. More or less, the general decisions are already there. After the session, we will see whatever he's going to do. Maresca again on the session now, then we fly there, 8 hours dinner bed. There are 5 hours ahead. We wake up tomorrow, it's midday in England. Wow, by the time I Chelsea ever sorry or China. Charlie, by the time I Chelsea team ever sorry or China upon now already midday or England, now about 12 or England did that. Friday morning we will arrive back our England, and that tells you it's a huge thing for Chelsea Football Club. Maresca and Joshua Champion. This is the big news that's coming for Chelsea. We'll talk about that as well. Maresca traveling with Chelsea fans and Astana Fisher. We always appreciate the fans who come with us, and in this case, it's even more given the conditions. We will stay on the English time despite the 5-hour time difference over there. The target since we started is to allow all of them, no matter the competition, to play 90 minutes every week. We try to give them a regular situation in terms of 90 minutes and playing every week, which is a very good one. Enzo Maresca on how many layers you wear in Almaty, in fact, the capital of Kazakhstan. Almaty over there. Many of them, we have to go try our best and then adapt to the conditions over there. And of course, after that, Chelsea captain, your friend Axel De Sassi, also did come in on also let's not say Edin in common about what he expects from Chelsea or Mokwa to go and play against Kazakhstan or first of all, Axel De Sassi was asked about how difficult the game is going to be. I think we all know it's going to be a tough season with a lot of games, but at the moment we have done well. We have the quality in terms in the teams. You can see that the first in the conference and second in the Premier League, we are doing well. We all know that a lot of people are talking about Chelsea buying players. But when you see now, maybe we did the right thing. Let's keep going like with our form. We see we can win in the end of the season. Talking about the facts. And again, I think that was my preamble in the start of this analysis. And they say a lot of the people, Abrana almost Chelsea in Commander Chelsea top players at the beginning of the season. Almost everybody kept on saying that Chelsea had too many players. Alex Chelsea top players. Why did Chelsea yes? But the truth of the matter is that imagine Chelsea just had 23 players and 22 players. Oko fly boy in Kazakhstan or about 5 hours ahead of you. Open back on Friday and past 6 a.m. Your body has to adjust to the time. Then on Sunday, game against Brentford, a very difficult game. It was always going to be a game that was going to be difficult for Chelsea. But because of the squad depth and also the quality in the depth that Chelsea keep into them, Chelsea can now fly to Kazakhstan, go and play in that game, have a completely new team that are going to play against Team Friend and Brentford. And it's the squad in depth that Chelsea have. And I think with time, people are beginning to accept that decision from Chelsea wasn't particularly a bad one, but in a good one for Chelsea Football Club. And it seems to be doing well. Of course, Axel De Sassi was asked about Ono as a player. I don't be saying, as a player, we have people here who have to think about it. The squad size. When you see the results now, they did a good thing because we can compete in both competitions. It's good to have this amount of players in that fight every day to win every day. Axel, as a player and as a competitor, you like to play every game, but sometimes you have to be clever. We have a big squad. When you have the opportunity to play, you have to perform and show your quality that you have done well. Axel goes on to talk about some other things about Chelsea. So it's very nice to see them attackers performing in this way. All of them are players with a lot of quality and skill, and we love to see it. Talking about the fact that Chelsea attacker seems to be getting a lot of goals. More goals than the defense as it stands now. Something that maybe Chelsea really have to look at as well. Then he goes on to say they have a lot. They have to be themselves. Talking about Chelsea youngsters, in fact, Chelsea are traveling with a lot of teams, a lot of players in the academy. They have to enjoy a moment and then don't feel pressure. We will be there to help you if you ask for advice. I know it's not maybe the best games to start with the flying and the temperature, but then we do have the quality over there. Actually, the fans show a lot of love. As a player, it's always a pleasure. So just thank you to those traveling to Almaty. We will try to do our best to say thank you. Axel, as a group, we are all together and we have a big squad in the dressing room, and you can see everyone can fight for everyone. We are all friends, and when you see the Premier League or in the Conference League, the spirit is very, very high. Axel on Enzo Maresca as a manager, and this is one thing that's very important for you to listen. I'll say he's a head coach. He just has to do his work and then keep the unity like this in the dressing room. It's very good like this. We all want to play every game, but we have to be clever. He knows the situation and tries to do his best. On Kopama, to be honest, I knew that he would do this Panenka. I remember he did it last year. Since 1 year and a half, you know the quality of Cole. He is very chill guy. For the fans, it's good feeling to see a player that performs like this over there for Axel Disasi. A lot of things that Axel also spoke about. Spoke about winning a trophy, spoke about the players now on him. But the most important thing, Enzo Maresca, Eddie Honkomo, the fact that finally Chelsea and Abrantia friend Joshua Kofi champion very, very close to agreeing at a contract extension. I gave you the explainer of why Chelsea were really pushing to make sure Abrantia friend Joshua Kofi champion was going to stay at Chelsea. Chelsea believes that he was a player Madrid for a panel. Liverpool wanted to look at TV Trent Alexander-Arnold goals, and there are a lot of other teams in Europe. There was Bayern Munich at some point in time. Paris Saint-Germain were also looking at himself. These are all teams that don't beat him for Brighton friend Joshua Kofi champion, because at right back he seemed to be very, very good. Now our Brighton friend Wesley Fofana, but it means that at centre back we expect to see Benya Axel Disasi and Brighton friend Tosin Adrabiayo. Enzo Fernandez, Enzo Maresca believes that this is a two centre back player. You're playing against Astana, it should be enough to get results over there. Then of course at right back, it means that Chelsea cannot get Abrantia, your friend Joshua Kofi champion at right back, then play Renato Vega at left back. So the defense that it's clear. Then there's going to be goalkeeper Philippe Jorgensen. I don't know better post in Mama Chelsea. Then in the middle of the pack, Kenan Drisby Hall, Abrantia Freno, Renato Vega will probably invert next to him, or Joshua Champion will invert in the angle as more like in a diamond or Honor. Then there's going to be the other players who are there to really control the game, which is very, very important. Chelsea really want stuff like that. They really want to dominate games. They really want to play well. They want to make sure somebody impose you on home our matches. So they will be a lot of the results. Like I said, not just Kofi champion. The entourage and the Chelsea said they don't see a clear picture for him at Chelsea. They don't see how our not Joshua Kofi champion can be playing week in, week out, day in, day out for Chelsea, because there is Mauro Gusto, there's Rhys James, even at right centre back campo, there's Fofana, there's Tosin Adrabiayo, there's also others of the Sassi. That's it. Less than and then you had at Chelsea, time Mama Brent friend Joshua Kofi champion. So Chelsea had to give them some assurances. One of the things that I didn't come on England, I heard said Chelsea assurance of Mama Brent friend Joshua Kofi champion, and they said they want him to play in Conference League. My summer catching a Conference League games thing, he is going to be a starter at right back, especially now when somebody a lot of pressure better Brantia, your friend Rhys James or so. He is going to be a starter at right back for him to be playing the Conference League games. And they also explained, said what they want to do for Brighton friend Joshua Kofi champion. They said if he wants to play high level first, high performance football or top tier division. Anything that Chelsea or Strasbourg. So they've agreed with him, says next season. If he doesn't like what's still going on there, they are going to take him to Strasbourg for him to go and play at Strasbourg also on loan. Then they will review it and see. Because Chelsea in himself are a quality player. They don't want to lose him for free or for the chicken change to any club or any competitor obviously or Europe. So they want to make sure that at least so Joshua Kofi champion every Chelsea company. He is going to leave there when Chelsea are getting a lot of value for money. When Chelsea are getting a lot of money in terms of revenue when they sell Abrantia, your friend of Joshua Kofi champion. The updates on NSX Chelsea already have huge breakthrough for Abrantia, your friend of Joshua Kofi a trump, and it's very, very important over there in the over the last few games. One of the things I've seen on Abrante Freno, Mihailo Modric, and Abrante Freno, Joao Felix has been a lot of development, especially for Mihailo Modric. Quietly, it looks as if Enzo Maresca is developing. In fact, in the last 2 or 3 games, he has not been seen in training. Enzo Maresca is catching Abrante Freno. Mihailo Modric AL, and then he's out of the team. Chelsea team with a lot of depth, so they don't force people to come back. And it looks as if he's developing. And it's the same for Joao Felix. So the development has been good. There are times where we're dropping into DM and then shifting behind the scene because he wants to be able to play Felix and then Cole Palmer together without losing defensive balance. It's a very key beating. It's the key to beating Liverpool. Their weakness lies in the pivot over there, and that's something that Chelsea wants to do. Enzo Fernandez has been excellent. I think the toughest thing about Enzo Fernandez is simply about profiling. And I think that's something that a lot of coaches have seen under Graham Potter, under Mauricio Pochettino, under Enzo Fernandez, Enzo Maresca as well. One of the things that has been a huge headache for Enzo Fernandez has been the profile. And I think that's exactly what Enzo Maresca has gotten right. Using him as a DLP, but then in various forms. In the box midfield, giving him specific role to control the tempo of the game, playing out from the back essentially, also occupying the left half space when Chelsea want to recycle possession and then sustain pressure, and then also get into the box and get some goals. Maresca has done that exactly, and Chelsea are reaping the rewards, playing him to his main strength of dictating play, like I did say, controlling the tempo of the game without making the creative burden on him too heavy, whilst minimizing the physicality and building by providing cover on both Lavia and Caicedo. That's the difference between a good coach and an elite one. The ability to completely rejuvenate a player. And that's exactly what I said about Enzo Maresca and how good he has been as a player in terms of how best Chelsea are getting from Abrante, their friend Enzo Fernandez. A lot of the young boys over here in the Chelsea training that are traveling to Astana, and all of them are going to get game time for Chelsea, especially for Pedro Neto in the last game away at Chelsea Kokobo. They didn't play Pedro Neto, and I think they are going to get him, and he's going to play in that game against Tima, your friend Astana, or the Conference League game. I think that this is where we have to join the curtain. It was a good preparation on Chelsea Football Club and the updates with respect to it. Adam, after the Champions League, we'll bring you post-match analysis. Until then, we'll take care. Bye-bye.